Let's clear something up right away. At EXP Realty, the most important decision you'll ever make isn't which cap you're on or how the splits work. It's who your sponsor is. And here's the trap too many agents fall into. They rush the decision or they join under the wrong person, and suddenly they've locked themselves into a dead end. And once you choose a sponsor at EXP, you cannot change it unless you leave the brokerage for 12 months and then rejoin. Imagine hitting a ceiling in your growth, knowing your sponsor can't help you, and realizing that you're stuck. That's why today I'm breaking down exactly how to choose the right sponsor and why it matters, and how the wrong decision can cost you years of wasted time. So stick around, because this one decision can literally change your career. This is your ultimate guide to choosing your EXP Realty sponsor. As you can see on the slide deck here, it's a strategic approach to selecting your permanent sponsor at EXP Realty, and this decision really can make or break your career. So let's start right off the top here. One irreversible decision that shapes your EXP experience, and this is the number one reason people leave the brokerage or have a bad taste in their mouth, is that they've been overpromised, underdelivered, they didn't have a good sponsor group, or they didn't get a sponsor at all. EXP, the brokerage, is fantastic, but the power really comes from your sponsor group. I would say that's where 80 to 90% of your power, because that is where it's going to really have you get that growth and take you to that potential and the desire of the goals that you have in mind. And that's why choosing your sponsor is so critical. And you can see here, this isn't merely an administrative step, it's a foundation upon which your future success and professional fulfillment at EXP will be built. And in the yellow highlights here, once you choose a sponsor, you cannot change it. They used to have an old rule where you could leave the brokerage for 6 months. Many people were doing that, but now they've extended it to 12 months. So it makes it very difficult. Once you are in, it is irrevocable, and you have to work with the person that you have listed as your sponsor. So what does your sponsor do here? So your sponsor acts as your primary guide, your mentor, and a gateway to a vast network of resources and opportunities in their organization. Their influence will shape your learning curve, access to training, and even the community that you become a part of. So it's really important to understand all the intricacies of each sponsor group. I'm with the Wolfpack. We have over 3,700 agents globally. We're the fastest net growth group in the entire company, and that is why I partner with this specific one. But you need to understand those details and ask those questions to anyone that you're speaking to about EXP. I have here, obviously EXP is undeniably a powerful brokerage with innovation model. However, the true power and leverage of EXP doesn't solely come from the company itself, but from the support, mentorship, and community provided by your sponsor and their larger organization, which is your upline. So we have a couple things here: the right sponsor, the wrong sponsor. How can you identify it? What should you do? So the right sponsor is going to contribute to your growth. They're going to have a vested interest in you to get to the goals that you want, to be able to produce and take advantage of some of the other benefits within EXP as well. In terms of the growth here, and you can see in the image, a blossoming plant here. The wrong sponsor will do the opposite. You're going to have missed opportunities. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to find out what other groups within the company have to offer. And if you are just partnering with someone because you like the EXP model, but you aren't well versed in all the intricacies, you are going to be very frustrated. So conversely, a poor sponsor choice can lead to wasted time, missed opportunities, and significant frustration, potentially setting your real estate career back by years and years, and will really cost you dollars too in terms of production. The group, for example, that I'm with, and we'll go into this a little bit further in detail further down the line, but before I joined EXP, my group here at the Wolfpack, I was paying $1,800 a month with Tom Ferry coaching, and I didn't think the coaching there was that great. When I interviewed my sponsors and indicated what my growth trajectory was, what my goals were, what I was expecting, the information and the resources and the training that they offered me, I was completely blown away. I fired my coach immediately and I moved into the group, because everything that I was getting with our sphere was completely free, and it was way better than the coaching that I was getting with Tom Ferry. So as you move down here, why your sponsor choice is so crucial. So when you join EXP, you're not just joining the company, you're joining a group of people who will influence your success. One, sponsor impact. Your sponsor becomes your first point of contact and primary resource of growth. They're also your guide. When you come into EXP, because we're a cloud-based brokerage based on technology, it is drinking water through a fire hose. There's a ton of emails, there's onboarding, there's all these resources that the brokerage has that your upline and your organization will have. So your sponsor is really important in being able to guide and direct you to be able to go into directions so that you're not wasting time, and that's an easy transition. There's 7 tiers of upline, so you gain access to up to 7 levels of upline partners through EXP's revenue share model. EXP is great because you have 7 tiers of upline partners. In Real Broker, they do have 5 tiers, so we have 2 more areas where you can have these strategic partners that all add different value if you strategize it properly. Number 3, combined resources. The collective knowledge, systems, and training from your sponsor and their upline creates your advantage. So what's powerful about the sponsor groups, especially if you pick and partner with the right ones, you will have multiple layers like an onion, and all your different upline partners should be able to fill in the gaps of things that are missing in your business, whether it's production, whether it's mindset, artificial intelligence training, social media training. Yes, EXP, the brokerage, offers some of this, but your organization will provide you with so much more. Our group, we have 8 masterminds every single week, and we also have a leaders call. So all the leaders in the group meet on Thursdays to discuss what the pain points of our agents are and how to make our group better, how we can increase training, increase production. So it's not templated, it's super dynamic, and it's always changing. So this is where agents either set themselves up for success or waste an opportunity. So choose strategically. So I have some key points here and qualities that you should be looking for. I have 5 of them here on the screen on how to decide who your ideal sponsor is. So number 1, knowledge of the model. They obviously need to understand the EXP model. If they don't understand the resources, the tools, the splits, how can you actually make an informed decision if the person that you are tethering yourself to doesn't even know the model themselves? They won't be able to answer your questions, and you're going to get very frustrated. So make sure that when you're asking these questions that you have them to do a full explain call and to give you the ins and outs. If they don't know the model, you should not be selecting them. Training and mentorship. So EXP itself as a brokerage provides over 50 hours of training weekly, but a strong sponsor and organization will offer even more specific training to your niches in there. So whether it's social media, like I said, YouTube, AI, luxury sales systems, the Wolfpack here has that all, but I can't speak for other groups, but the other groups will have other niches and specialties as well. One-on-one support. EXP has nearly 2,000 base cloud staff, but real growth often comes from personal guidance. Are your sponsors accessible? Do they run masterminds or small group calls? Are they going to bring you into the brokerage and then you never hear them again? I had a real estate coaching client of mine, and he said when he came into the group, he didn't hear from his sponsor for about 6 months, and that forced him to get some external coaching for me, and that left him very frustrated. So you need to lay down some expectations in terms of your sponsor, of what you want, and if that sponsor is going to be able to do that, and have them provide that proof for you. Systems and processes. EXP provides CRM. We have CRM of choice, but systems only work if you know how to use them. Great sponsors and organizations will have onboarding guides and proven processes to be able to use the technology that we use in EXP. So EXP will give us the tools. Then when new tools come into play, these groups such as ours at the Wolfpack here, we will train on them to make sure that you're up to date with all the new technology, to make sure that you are up to date and know exactly what's going on in the brokerage as a whole. And then finally, community and culture. EXP is global. There's both a strength and a challenge. Pick a sponsor who creates community through masterminds, group chats, and real collaboration. I've been with EXP for 2.5 years. Some of my best friends now are from my group. When I joined, I was one of the only people in my market here in Vancouver. My sponsor was in Colorado, so it doesn't have to be location specific. You need to find someone who fills the holes in your business. But because of the culture, because we have 7-8 mastermind calls each and every single week, and you're all with people who are sharing their insights and wanting you to do well, you create some very strong bonds. So it's important. Ask your sponsor, how many people have they sponsored? How many people are in the organization organization, what do their upline partners provide? And it's not just one sponsor, it's a team. And there is a strategy in place when you're picking a sponsor. So I stated here, when I joined EXP, I could have joined directly under Mike Sherrard. That's the one who I was introduced to in the brokerage, a powerhouse in social media and YouTube. But I also realized I wanted Louis Galt's experience in time management, systems, and automations. So there was Mike, then there was Louis, who was under Mike. And because I partnered with Louis, I got all of Louis's resources, coaching on automations and systems, plus all the access that I had to Mike and my upline partners as well. So sometimes just because you really like a certain individual, sometimes it makes sense to go a couple tiers underneath them if all those other partners also have resources. Because if I would have joined under Mike in this scenario, and you can see here who my 7 upline partners are, I would have only had access to Mike's stuff and Connor Steinbrook's stuff, who's awesome in mindset, but I wouldn't have gotten anything from Louis. And Louis really helped change my business around. So make sure that there's a strategy in place to make sure that you understand all your upline partners and how to get access to them. This is a screenshot from the app. So once you are in place, you'll have access to all their phone numbers, emails to get in contact with them. To put this in a real world example so you can see how this works for me in real time, these are my 7 online partners. The ones that I have access to are my first 3. I have never heard from Chris, Ian, Patrick, Tracy, nothing against them at all. But the reason why I joined was because of Connor, Mike, and Louis. They put so much value in, and they've spent millions of dollars in terms of creating resources, school platforms, circle platforms to be able to host all the training, that this is where the bulk of my insights and my mentorship and coaching comes from, these 3. So who is Connor? So Connor, he was a professional poker player who trains agents on mindset. He's a real estate investor with hundreds of rentals, has over 3,700 agents in his organization, and was the founder of the Wolfpack organization. So I have access to his resources, and he does a call for our group on mindset every single Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Under Connor is Mike. He is a top producing agent for multiple years, and he is a YouTube influencer with over, I believe it's now 116,000 subscribers, has over 2,700 agents in his organization, and coaches thousands of agents every week. So Mike has things like the Social Agent Academy. He has the AI Agent Accelerator. These are platforms on Circle where he updates them every single year to make sure that we are up to date with AI and have all these blueprints and playbooks, whether you want to have a dominant YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, anything that you can think of, have camera confidence. How do I get my specific production going? We have a list of the type of mics or cameras and different tiers. All that's for free, all that gets updated, and that's through Mike. Then with the strategic partnership with myself, with Louis, who's out of Colorado. Again, he was a top producing agent for multiple years, was previously at Compass. Now he's here with EXP, a master in productivity systems and automation, has over 400 agents in his organization. And then I get access to Louis' call on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Mike also has a call on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So now I have these 3 coaches that I have access to every single week. And that's why it was the strategy that I employed. If I would have went right under Connor, for example, I wouldn't have had any Mike stuff or Louis stuff. So this is how you start to build up those layers. Then moving down, this is just a quick blurb about me. So if you wanted to see how you would fit in my organization, not only would you get access to Connor, Mike, and Louis, you would also have access to my value stack. So I'm a top 10% agent in Vancouver, over $80 million sold, master of AI automation, lead generation, and content creation and branding. I was a former firefighter turned realtor, and I help agents scale fast with brand and systems. So this is where you start to put these puzzle pieces together, these Lego blocks, to make sure that you're very well supported and you get all this coaching and mentorship for free. With that, if you are considering joining EXP, make sure you click the link in the description below or scan that QR code in the banner to book a private Zoom call with me. I'll walk you through the model, answer any questions honestly, and even help you evaluate if our group is the right fit for you or if you may be better served elsewhere. But moving on here, again, going through the strategies here, your strategic sponsor selection process with the slide on deck, interview multiple sponsors. That's what I did in my market as well. I made sure that I just didn't talk to people such as Mike or Louis. There were other people in my areas to find the proper fit. You need to evaluate their offers and don't just take their word from it. go on and ask them to share their screen with you on the back end. If you were to book in this Zoom call with me, I can share my screen and show you the Social Agent Academy. I can show you the AI Accelerator. I can show you our school platforms and our calendars to show you the upwards of 8 mastermind calls that we have. So make sure when you're speaking to someone, they can prove it. A lot of people will talk a big game, but don't deliver. It's really easy for them to get on a call, share their screen, and look at it. Research their uplines. Who else do you get access to? If you partner with them, the right sponsor unlocks a powerful network above them. We just went over that. And ensure your goals are in alignment. Choosing someone who visions and values match your business goals and work style and feels that they believe in you to help you take things to the next level. This is a quick example for you when asking a group what do they offer. And this is for our group here at the Wolfpack. And these are our 8 weekly live mastermind calls. We have that mindset call on Monday, the language of real estate, scripting and role play on Tuesday call, a production mastermind on Tuesday, systems and productivity on Wednesday. We have a women's only Wolfpack call on Wednesday. We also have a secondary Wednesday call, the Wolfpack Explain call on Wednesdays as well. So if you're thinking of getting into agent attraction, we have a group and a call committed to you to help bring agents into the brokerage. And then Thursday, we have a Social Agent Academy mastermind. On Friday, an AI Agent Accelerator. So it's very easy for us to bring things up on screen, and that's something that you need to do with your sponsors all. So don't just join EXP, join the right people inside it. The sponsor you choose can truly be the difference between struggling as a solo agent, isolated from crucial insights and advanced strategies, and rapidly scaling your business with tailored training, proven systems, and a supportive team. So for me, a quick blurb about me. I switched from a pretty large independent brokerage in my market to EXP in a tough market in that 2023 year. Because of all this training, and I knew what I was getting because I asked the right questions, I knew I would be able to turbocharge my business. And in my first year, I doubled my production. I made top 10% in my market. And here in 2025, 7 months into another horrible market, I've already had my best career already. They give you the tools that will make you succeed, but if you don't ask the right questions and you don't ask the right people, you will miss out on a lot of free value that can turbocharge your business and take you where you want to be. At the end of the day, eXp Realty is an incredible platform, but it's just that, a platform. What determines whether you actually succeed here isn't the brokerage itself, it's who you align with. The right sponsor and upline can shorten your learning curve, plug you into proven systems, and surround yourself with mentors who've already built the kind of business you want. The wrong sponsor, on the other hand, can leave you stuck, alone, and wasting years trying to figure it out yourself. So don't rush this decision. Do your due diligence, ask the right questions, and make sure you're joining a sponsor and an organization that give you the tools to actually thrive.